You can see the difference between the normal one is you've got a wide arch. Every panel on this is going to be different apart from the front doors. It's the only thing it shares. So even the back doors are a bit wider. See along here, it's got extra width there. Front wings are flared, aluminium as well. Some of the little details, wing mirrors, they're different, not a normal A4. Little things like this, these only come on the rs4, so a normal S-line Audi won't have it, even the S4 won't have it. It's got 6-speed manual, they didn't come with anything else, and it's pretty a short throw, although against modern cars, you know, you can still shorten it just that little bit more. The most popular upgrade is going to be this head unit. I've just put an Android one in there to bring it bang up to date, but it looks like an original one, so that's good. Just try to keep it OEM look. And black headlining, again a feature of the rs4. You guys may not know, but the bonnet on all of these, even though it hasn't got a fancy bulge or anything like that, it is actually made from aluminium, as are the front wings, so they're nice and lightweight. You can just see just how flared they are. Mine's an early one, so it's got the orange indicators, but the later ones will have clear ones if it's stock. I have had it for a while. I think we'll just start off going around the car. In terms of the interior, this flat bottom steering wheel is actually the same as what comes in Lamborghini. Normally that badge is missing. This one's actually got the wing backs, which is a must-have in my view, unless you're not a fan of them. You need to look out for wear on the bolster here. Obviously it's quite common, given how bolstered they are, that they'll get worn. When you actually press the sport button here, again these buttons tend to get worn out. If you press the sport button, it does two things. One, it sharpens the throttle response, and it opens the flaps and the exhaust as well, which I'll demonstrate a bit later. Now, one of the other options is actually on these seats, these bolsters, you can activate on the sport button so it grabs you a bit more. I've actually deactivated mine at the moment. In terms of brakes, these are very expensive. Well, at least they used to be. Now you can probably pick up a front pair of floating discs for about £500–600 Brembo ones. Again, it shares the calipers, which are 8-foot at the front. It shares it with the Lamborghini and also the Audi R8 on the front. A lot of the time you might get some vibrations when braking hard, so sometimes it can just be the actual material from the pad deposited on the disc. So that in itself, it just needs a good hard braking, and that should actually clear up any vibration. Or if you haven't torqued your bolts carefully, again, because it's a floating disc, it needs to be torqued to the factory settings. If your wheels have been refurbished, you need to make sure there's no powder coat material on the inside as well. Again, that will affect you when you actually brake. Like most Audis of this era, the coil packs are always an issue. These harnesses, can't really see them too well. These harnesses, again, the wiring inside here can actually break very easily. The inlet manifold on these, they tend to get coked up, so it needs to be decarbonized probably every 20,000 miles or so. It depends how you drive it. It can end up costing you about 20–30 horsepower. Again, it's got a good vacuum system on here, so there's a flap inside the airbox here that opens up after 5,500 revs. Again, it's best to get it down to a specialist, someone like MRC, who'll be able to tell you exactly how that vacuum system is functioning. If we move down here, you can see the fog lights here just behind this grille. Basically, you've got a radiator here behind there, and you've got another radiator behind here as well. Now, they tend to get kind of bunged up with leaves, so it's really important you check them. They start to rot as well. on this side here, again, this car has been sorted now, but the majority of them are going to suffer from an oil leak on the oil cooler. It's basically because the oil cooler and the pipes, they're made of two different materials, so they tend to bond together after a while. Just in terms of options, there's various options on these cars. So this one, it's not got a sunroof on it, that's an optional extra. It doesn't have the blinds, but what it does have, if you look carefully here, you can just see that it's got double glazed rear windows. I'll also show you guys the heated rear seats. So this one comes with the heated rear seats. You can just see the buttons there. You know, quite rare. Considering the size of this car, it's, you know, normally something you expect on a A6 or A8 really. Again, door blades, if you look really carefully, you can see that it's starting to get some water ingress here. This is very common and these are very hard to find now as well. So you'll see itself in terms of these blades and the bottom door blade here as well in particular there. You can just see water starting to go in. This is very common on these. You can see it's just started to rust there a little, so all of this needs to be sorted out on this car. Another thing to watch out for is you know, when you drive hard, you'll notice this clutch pedal under really hard driving, it tends to stick down. The easiest way to actually try and solve this is to change the fluid that's used in the clutch for a higher boiling point one, because the pipe tends to collapse and that causes all sorts of issues. Don't jump ahead and let's necessarily change the clutch and flywheel straight away. It's unlikely to do that. They all suffer from this. The other thing, obviously these wingback seats, they don't get stolen as much because people have moved on to other things, but they still are quite desirable. It's something that can be stolen very easily, so you know, best to keep the car locked in the garage. If not, I would recommend getting one of these disc locks. The size you'd need with a flat bottom steering wheel is that one. Just something to kind of put people off really. If they're going to take the car, they're going to take the car, or they're going to take the seats. So I think one of the main differences between the European RS4 and the American one is this flat bottom steering wheel, these wingback seats, they weren't an option in the States, and that just comes with a normal key. The European ones, they have this starter button to actually fire it up with. That's it, sport mode on now, so the flaps will be open. Right, I'm just going to demonstrate those flaps and the sport button. So this is with the flaps closed. You can see the hole on the left hand side is closed at the moment. That's with it open. That's closed. I'll give it a little rev.